Hey guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com. Do a quick second look gameplay video here for Lineage 2 Revolution. Free to play mobile MMORPG developed and published by Netmarble. I'll spend about 10 to 15 minutes running around checking this game out. Make comments. If you guys do want to play Lineage 2 Revolution or just learn more about it, do check out the review on MMOs.com on the link below. So let's go and get started. We are actually, I guess, a daily dungeon right now, a little tutorial dungeon right now. She can feel my power apparently, is what she said. Yeah, she can feel it all she wants. I want to feel her power too. Skip that over there. As you can see, the game is actually in English right now. It did a soft launch in June, so now we can actually play it and know kind of what's going on. Whereas previously, it was only available in South Korea in Korean. So we're playing it on an Android emulator, though I believe you can play it on any Android device. There is no iOS release just yet, but when the game fully launches, it will be available there as well. As you can see, we're defeating some Gorsar Royal Guards. And the gameplay is largely automated, and it's going to be automated for most of the questing and the grinding, where you'll be doing a lot more hands-on gameplay when it gets more difficult in dungeons and whatnot. So we completed that, and let's talk to the Purifying Fairy again. And there's actually really good production value in this game, and it really shows right from the get-go. First of all, great art in the game, you have voice acting, and the graphics are quite nice as well. It's built on Unreal Engine 4. So now we're going to kill some more orcs. And kind of maybe while it does that, I can show you some of the other classes in the game. I am playing as a mystic, but it has a pretty interesting class system and a race system as well. You can play from one of 4 playable races. You got humans, elves, dark elves, and dwarves. And actually, depending on which one you pick, there's actually if we open this menu, we'll still be fighting, right? I think we will. See our character. I can classes over here, for example. We got human, elf, dark elf, and dwarf. Human warriors can become paladins at level 31 and warlords, and elves can become temple knights or sword singers. Now, if you played the original Lineage 2, you know that it follows the same class progression. Human warriors could become paladins, and elves could become temple knights. So it's kind of cool that they have some of that in there as well. Anyway, let's close this back out. Claim our reward, and we can look at all these menus and stuff while the game kind of auto-grinds for us too. So we got a new ability now too. Nice. I missed when it was peaceful. Apparently. Skip over there too and accept. And if you want to play the game again, you can do so in English now. And this is a big release. Honestly, it's one of the biggest Korean mobile MMORPG releases in a long time. Namely because it's been such a smash hit in South Korea. It did over $170 million in its first month of launch, which is pretty incredible. She can still feel my power apparently. And accept over there too. Oh man, we got a cutscene. We got flying dragons. What's gonna happen? We got Gorsar. Alright, is Gorsar going to get auto-combated to death, or do we have to do it manually? Let's find out. Oh, man. Hype. Alright, he's getting auto-combated to death, and let's see if he hits me. Alright, well, he's hitting me a couple times, but you can obviously dodge his attacks, too, if you want. And the more difficult dungeons, I'm going to take this red hit damage, right? But it's a pretty early dungeon that's not going to matter. When you're doing these more difficult dungeons and raids and whatnot, it's going to obviously be a lot harder. And notice the game actually auto-potions for me as well. So it not only fights for you and uses skills, but it potions. However, it will not dodge these attacks for you. You gotta do those manually. And the fact that you do have to dodge those manually, you know, at a certain point, auto-combat is just not going to work for you. Later on, you do need to keep your gear up to date. You need to manually dodge attacks, otherwise you're going to die. But it does make the early experience super easy. And my combat power goes up. Okay. You got macros for chat. Nice. What is it? I don't know. We just killed this dragon. You tell me what's going on, girl. We must activate the other purification devices. Skip. Don't care. Oh, man. We're going inside the crystal. It's a teleportation stone. My bad. Not a crystal. Completely different. You can complete various missions as daily activities. And oddly enough, this game actually is soft launched in English. But even though it's a soft launch, they said it's only available in some parts of Asia. But you can play it on, I believe, any Android device. Episode 1-3. This is like our main story quest. Clear. And you get some various rewards. And the production, I do want to say right away, the production value is excellent. There are scenes that are fully voice acted at the beginning, and clearly they put some effort into this one for sure. And I can't blame them because it's such a massive success for Netmarble. Skip. And really the most notable aspect I think is that it takes place in a large, persistent world. It's not stage-based like a lot of these games. Oh, I actually had to go to a dungeon. Did I not do that? New dungeon, very hard. Let's do it, boys. It sounded very hard. We learned a new skill of robe mastery, and I guess that's a passive for sure. Yo, can we do a dungeon now? Let's do a challenge. No, daily activities, dungeons. Let's rock one of these. Daily dungeon. Oh man, let's unlock that bad boy. Jump right in. All right, let's do. We'll probably require CP. That's a lot of CP, boys. I don't have that much CP. All right, it tells you how much CP you need for these, and I think normal requires 10 times the CP I need. So we're gonna get wrecked. So again, really the only part that auto combat will destroy in is really the automated easy stuff at the beginning. Okay, we literally got one shot instantly, and auto combat didn't even work in this dungeon. So auto combat probably doesn't even work in these dungeons outside of the easy modes. So that was okay. That was pretty terrible. You can instantly revive, you pay. So it does use that system of monetization where if you wipe, you can just pay to res. I know it's kind of cheesy, but other games have done it as well. So okay, we can't do these dungeons just yet. But I'm glad that there's a lot of harder content in the game as well. It's just the automated gameplay is going to get you past a lot of like the really easy stuff at the beginning. It kind of gets you, get going in the game. And it works. It's not bad either. Honestly, there's only a handful of mobile MMORPGs that have persistent worlds and don't have automated gameplay. A few of them would be like Avabel Online. And the company that makes that, Azobimo, they have like 6 or 7 games that all built on persistent worlds with no automated combat. And I think they're really fun. There was a pretty standard MMORPGs. But the most successful mobile MMORPGs are not, they have automated gameplay. So the early experience, the easy components of the dungeons are supposed to be done automatically. But for the harder stuff, you actually have to earn it yourself. And I think it's not a bad compromise either, especially because it's on a mobile device, right? So we're auto-questing again. And while we're doing that, we can see our inventory again and equip some better gear. We got a lot of gear over here. We auto-equip. We're going to put on the best gear automatically, and we already have it. So what's this? Material can be used to level up weapons. Sell? No, I don't want to sell that. I want to use that to upgrade my gear later. And you can see my kawaii character. Though I couldn't make my twin tails red. Rest in pepperoni. Appearance customization is pretty lacking, unfortunately. There's like, you can choose from 1 of 3 like hairstyles, and that's really it, unfortunately. That's all you got. And obviously the bigger combos you get, the more damage you do. Though pulling off combos in the open world on these early quests are super easy. And you use our abilities for us automatically as well. Alright, Prairie, easy frags. Back to handling our quest. Control-wise, it uses pretty similar mobile MMORPG controls. As basically every one of these games, you have to use your one finger on the controls, which are at the bottom left. Where you can see it, yeah, you can see it over there. And now we have to talk to Amon again. Yo, it's Amon from Legend of Korra, obviously. Let's skip that as well. Get some more quests. And all of this is just basically an automated grind early on. It only really starts picking up pace later when you're higher level, when you're fighting more difficult dungeons, where you have to actually dodge attacks yourself. There are those red circles you got to move out of the way for, so it definitely does get challenging. And just the early experience feels more like, I guess, an idle game than it does an actual MMORPG. And claim reward here too. No word I won the full. I'm liking Pesca the Fisherman. I feel like all the character art in the game is actually surprisingly good. It looks really pretty. Skip that as well. Accept quest. A lot of the NPCs are pretty well endowed as well. Shop, I believe, is for the cash shop. Though we have these purple elixirs. When you have them equipped, I think it increases your damage every time you attack. So that's interesting. Money, 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 money. Of course, the cat is the money guy in the game. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Gather catnip. Okay, so apparently catnips are purple flowers. Pretty sure those are tulips, but apparently we're gonna pass them off as catnip, and we'll see if the general merchant realizes. Accept that quest there too. Easy level 8. Of course, our CP goes up. Our combat power goes up every level. If you know, the combat power on the top left is a bit like a red flag for me because a lot of Chinese MMORPGs use similar systems. But this is Korean developed. It's by Netmarble, and I think it's their most successful game ever. Again, 170 million in its first month, and since release, it's basically been sitting on the highest grossing games list on mobile devices in South Korea. And I'm confident it'll do pretty well here in the West as well. Namely because it's got the production value. It's got a pretty robust item upgrading system as well. I'm not going to talk about the game cash shop because I don't quite know if it's going to be pay to win yet. But I imagine, along with many other mobile MMORPGs, there are definitely some pretty strong pay to advance, potentially pay to win stuff. I'm not sure how it carries over to PvP though. Being able to res in dungeons if you die with premium currency is obviously an advantage, but I don't mind that at all because it doesn't give you an advantage in PvP. So I'm curious if there are ways to pay for advantage in PvP or not, or it'll be automated, it'll be equalized or not too. Did you see a sparkling stone around here? I love the random things NPCs say. I need your help. I need your help. So again, all this automated questing is basically to level us up, get some gear, upgrade our equipment, so we can start challenging those more difficult dungeons and doing them on our own. And you can do this with friends as well. I'm actually playing this on the NOX Android emulator, if you guys are curious too. I'm liking hell yeah. Alright, she is. Help, some rogues ambushed me and took my wagon. They're still near my wagon, down there. They're pretty bad ambushers. Did they even run off with it? All right, we gotta get to Hylia's pants, so we gotta get our wagon back apparently. Kill some orcs. I've warned you, it's a sinister wizard again. Look at this guy's, he's totally Amon. Look at this guy's face. I didn't know Amon was in this game. He's got the from Legend of Korra. It totally looks like him, doesn't it? Apparently I'm a bender, he's gonna kill me. Alright, he's summoning the skeletons on me. We're doing automated combat. For these early quests, again, you gotta excuse the fact that it's really easy, but the dungeons are where it's gonna really challenge you. Perhaps later on as well, when you're gonna have to dodge attacks from the world NPCs, world monsters. But for the early experience, for the first few hours, easily don't expect any kind of challenge in the quest lines. But honestly, it's not too far away from traditional MMORPGs either, because honestly, it's pretty mindless when you're grinding in any game early on. It's rarely a challenge anyway. So most MMORPGs have gotten to a point where you're not going to wipe at all, doing the main story quest, grinding early on. So the fact that mobile games have that automated isn't necessarily a deal breaker. And I don't think everyone should automatically write off a game like that as well. Because again, you're playing on a mobile device, maybe on the go or something, you're not sitting down on your desktop, so I can understand why they did that. And they can make the dungeons that you queue for, that you jump into, more challenging in response. It is one large persistent world, like I said, but there are many, many channels. And despite it being a soft launch right now, we've been seeing a lot of people in game, and there's actually a handful of servers too. And you notice I actually ran into that NPC over there, and there's unit collision. You can't walk through enemies either, whether it's an NPC or a player, which I think is kind of cool. Alright, Feldheim, what do you got for me? Accept that quest as well. Alright, easy combats. But if you, honestly, I know the auto combat should turn a lot of people off, but I think it's worth checking out. Give this game a try. There's been so many mobile MMORPGs with auto combat, but most of them, again, don't have persistent worlds. You have games like Heroes Incredible Tales, which have pretty cool action combat, but it takes place in stages, and really the only MMORPG element of that game is it's got this global chat box. Here, at least, you can see other people, and you can interact with them. It's a more traditional MMORPG than most of these mobile MMORPGs. But if you guys do want to play Lineage 2 Revolution, or just learn more about it, do check out the whole review on MMOs.com on the link below. I will link to the English APK in the video description in case you're trying to play in an emulator. But I think you can actually probably find it on the App Store as well. If not, again, I'm linking to it below the video. Anyway, guys, later.